What tasty treat do we have here? A new Civivi. I think we all have a feeling about what this is going to be. It is the Civivi. It's called the, it's a bull mastiff, mini bull mastiff. No, it's not a donut knife. Man, I wish it was. But no, it's a mini bull mastiff. It's one of them cleaver jobs. It's all cleavery. It's got the big old tall, like you're doing some chopping. It's got that kind of blade on it. The body's not that much different than the Elementum, I guess. It's got a little more finger guard action going. The Elementum just kind of comes up and around. Real good action. Probably better than the Elementum because the Elementum has a very lightweight blade and this guy has a heavier blade, so it kind of throws better. Well, okay. I thought that fuller would be great for reverse flicking, but it's okay. It's pretty good. You really got to give it a little pressure though. Like I can't just try to catch it with the edge of my nail. I have to press in and flick. Then it works pretty good. The flipper tab works great too. Very nice, good sound. Not super thick by any means. Let's see, what are we talking here? Just a hair under ½ inch thick. What's the blade length on this guy? 1, 2. Boy, not quite 3, I wouldn't think. Let's see. Boy, you might call it just at 3. You know what? Legally, I am not a lawyer, so I can't tell you, but I'm going to say it's going to be a hair over 3 legally. So, if you were to trim this blade down, like I am wont to do, and you wanted it to be below 3 for your local legal rules, that would be no problem. And I think it's kind of ugly, and I will be trimming it down. What am I going to be trimming it down to? Something cooler than it is. That's for sure. What's the hardware look like? Typical Civivi. Looks like 8s and 8s. 6s on the pocket clip. Probably has a little dent under here that this pivot head fits into and doesn't spin, so that's nice. They always seem to. Pocket clip looks like it'll work pretty well. Has the recessed screws down there, but although the bottom of the clip isn't recessed, that would have been nicer. But when you have scales this thin, might be tough. G10 backspace or G10 on the scales. What's the blade on this guy? I think it's 9CR 14 MOV. Pretty smooth for a little knife. What are we going to do with this thing? Well, I'm going to chop it up. Let's see what am I going to chop it up to look like. Let's see, I got a Sharpie over here. I think, let's see, I'm going to pull a chair up, start drawing on it. I think I'm going to go something like this to give it a little more pointiness. I'm going to stop right there at the top of that fuller for just a place where it ties in. And then we'll bring it down. Let's see, does that have any? Nope, no jimping there, so that's easy enough. We'll just bring it all the way from here straight over. Something like that. So it's going to kind of have a Wharncliffe, maybe a little bit of a curve to this one, so it has kind of a Bowie type angle going. I think. Yeah. All right. So we'll cut this thing up, and then we'll take a look at it, see what we think. After I get it cut, it's kind of rough. We got that blue line there that's kind of the far out edge of where it's going to be. And then we start sanding it. We don't want to sand too much right near that tip, because man, that thing gets hot quick. So as soon as we sand just for a few seconds, we hit the tip one time, we dip it in ice water, keep it cool. And also so I'm sanding and then feeling it to see how hot it's getting. So as long as I can touch it and it just barely feels warm, I know we're okay. So there's the initial cut and then the first sanding. No chamfering at all or anything, just flat pretty much. I give it a little tiny bit of a roundedness, but all right, come on, yes. Pretty straight, I think. I'm not sure, I might cut this off where I plan to, right across here, or I might just leave it up like that, because it kind of looks neat. Might put a little chamfered edge along here, a swedge maybe coming up from here, or a swedge coming in from here. I'm not sure which. Yeah, we'll see. So what do we have here now? Got the cut finished. Got this swedge finished coming down heavy from the top and then thinning out to almost nothing, just getting real thin and just being a little bevel as it gets near the tip. That tip is very thin. You don't want to go poking that into stuff and prying on nothing, because it'll probably bend or break. But it is very stabby now, that's for sure. It had a little bevel, or it still has a little bevel along this top edge, and I tried to continue that out onto the edge of the swedge. Swale. Sound like I'm half drunk. But I think it went pretty well. I think I like it. I think it has a good look to it. I don't know if you remember, but there was a line coming across here that I was going to cut it and bring it right down to the top of this fuller. And then it would be kind of getting, the whole blade would be getting thinner as it goes forward. But it just looked cool with this kind of slight curve here. It does have a slight curve. It's not a flat line across this top, it's a slight curve. Kind of had a bowie look to it, so I left that little point there to emphasize the bowiness of it. Maybe we'll call it David Bowie. What has changed about the action? It feels a little snappier. Lighter blade, snaps out quicker. Can we still reverse flick it? Oh yeah, plenty of fuller left for that. How's it look closed? A lot different. Does it look better closed? I think so. I think this big cleaver look was kind of stupid. It looks a little neater this way. Kind of looks like a old 1940s car, like a Packard or something like that. See, there's a windshield, and there's the body, and the wheels are like behind this fender cover thing. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's cool. It's going to be for sale with the other two. I haven't cut the other two yet, so it's kind of like a pick your own design type knife for the other two, but this one is gonna sell just like this, or I'll keep it if it doesn't sell. I don't really care. It's pretty cool, so happy to keep it either way. The mini bull mastiff that is now a David Bowie or something. Have a nice day.